Hello, I'm Daryl Stirk, and this is the second introductory video to my monograph, Indigenous Cultural Translation, a thick description of Saedic ballet. In the first video, I explained the cover design and why I chose it, especially in reference to a style of weaving called midi, which you can see on the right-hand side. And in this video, I'd like to explain the name of the film that I wrote my book about, hastening to add that you don't have to have seen the film to appreciate my book. Now, if you saw the film in the fall of 2011 in Taiwan, you might have seen the poster on the left-hand side. At the bottom, there are 5 Chinese characters. It's a transliteration of the Saedic name of the film into Mandarin. And then at the very bottom, in red, it's a little bit hard to see, you'll see Saedic Ballet, which is the title in the subtitle of my book, and I guess it's the original title of the film. But if you saw the film internationally outside of Taiwan, you might have seen the poster on the right-hand side. It was known and is known in English as Warriors of the Rainbow. So the film has at least 3 different titles. Now, the original title in the Saedic language, and you'll notice I keep on emphasizing or overemphasizing the Q at the end of the first word, which is a uvular stop, meaning that it's made with your uvula, the little flap of skin at the back of your mouth. The reason I overemphasize the pronunciation of the Q is to remind you and to remind myself that it's not a K. Now, Saedic means person or people. It's singular or plural, depending on context. And ballet can be an adverb, or it can also be an adjective. When it's an adjective, it could be translated into English either true or real. So, Saedic ballet, literally translated, would be true people. And if we're talking about men, then it could more or less literally be translated as real man or real men. Now, Saedic is the pronunciation of person only in one of the 3 dialects of the Saedic language. In the other 2 dialects, the same word is pronounced Sedic or Sejik. Saedic or Sedic or Sejik is also an ethnonym, meaning that it's the name of an ethnic group, so that Saedic ballet could also mean true Saedic people. It's a phrase so that the words in the phrase are separable, as in the following quotation from the film. Saedic ku nak ballet kayaku. Saedic ku nak ballet kayaku. When I pronounce it fast, I pretty much inevitably translate the Q's into K sounds. Now, Saedic means person. Ku is the short or clitic form of the first person singular pronoun, in this case, I. Nak is myself, or it could also be translated just. Ballet is true or real. Ka is a nominative marker, which means that whatever follows it is the subject. So yaku is first person singular subject pronoun, in other words, I. So Saedic kunak ballet kayaku means I am just a real man, or I am myself a true person. In Mandarin transliteration, the film is known as Saida Ke Balai, so Saedic ballet in Saedic and Saida Ke Balai in Mandarin transliteration. It sounds pretty close, but quite different actually, because obviously Mandarin phonology is not the same as Saedic phonology. In Hanyu Pinyin, it's, as you see here, Saideke, Balai, Balai, and Hanyu Pinyin is the main form of romanization of Mandarin Chinese. Now, in English, Warriors of the Rainbow. Why is it called Warriors of the Rainbow? Well, the film is about these warriors who apparently believed that if they had headhunted, they won the right to cross a rainbow bridge into the afterlife. And the film uses this belief in a rainbow bridge as the explanation of the Musha incident, an indigenous rebellion against Japanese colonial rule that the film is about, and which I will tell you about in a different video. So what's the relationship between the title in Saadiq Ballet, and Warriors of the Rainbow in English? Well, obviously, Warriors of the Rainbow is not a literal translation of Saadiq Ballet. Now, when we're translating, we don't always have to translate literally, and I think that warrior is legitimate translation of Saadiq Ballet. A warrior is a kind of person, and it's the kind of person that the film is about. Another possible or justifiable translation of Saadiq Ballet is hero. The film is an epic. Epics celebrate heroism, and the film is about the heroes who rose in resistance to Japanese colonial rule in 1930 in the Musha incident. Another possible translation of Saadiq Ballet could be adult, because if you were a man, if you were a young man in your teens or early 20s, headhunting traditionally was expected of you. It was expected of all young men who had to, in the process of becoming a man, as part of their coming of age ceremony, demonstrate that they had the capability and the bravery to protect the village, and they did so by headhunting. But Adults of the Rainbow wouldn't have made a very good title, so I think Warriors of the Rainbow is pretty good. So that's an explanation of the title of the film, and in the next video, in the third video, I'll explain to you the Musha incident, which the film is about. Thank you for watching, and see you again.